Listen to that version of Green Green, sounding all triumphant. But I guess Green Green's always sounds kind of triumphant, doesn't it? Well, we should probably get on with this, Aileen and Kirby and Waddle Dee's adventure, but since last time I went back and got those diaries I missed, still feels sort of like I'm violating Aileen's privacy here, but based on these titles, it's been written for an audience anyway. It's funny how when you write a diary, you're really writing for an audience in some way. I am, anyway. I have made a new friend today. His name is Kirby, and this guy's called Waddle Dee. New buddies are the best. I like your attitude, Aileen. I'm not quite sure why you gave Waddle Dee such a big mouth, but that's fine. I can believe it. And Glacia stole all the colors. She's a very talented artist, and she loves colors. I suppose that's Glacia there. She has a beret, so I guess she loves colors. My profile. Her name is Aileen. You see, it would have... This is pretty essential exposition right here. And I could have missed this. In any case, her birthday's springtime and her personality is rainbow. She also appears to have something in her eye there. I hope that she gets that out of there. It's always a pain when your eye gets all itchy. And of course, here's the map of the cave that they found in the desert area. And as we can see, Kirby doesn't need anything more than a hammock to be happy, and Waddle Dee is fine with just a cup of green tea. But, old Aileen, or not so old Aileen perhaps, she wants a nice sofa upon which to recline, and a hidden chest of loot in a passage beneath it. But we already saw that one. Next time he should aim even higher. Oh my god, Aileen, you're adorable! You're also kind of terrifying what you're able to do to Kirby here, but this just makes me so happy. Look at those two little orbs on her. I guess those are her eyebrows. And here's Glacia. She's totally selfish and is probably born in the winter. Her job is to make shapes. We used to be best friends, but now she scares me. Yeah, you and Glacia had a bit of a falling out, didn't you? I mean, she doesn't look so bad. She doesn't look so bad at all. I think this is all the pages, though. Yeah, that's all the diary entries I got. How many are there? 22, eh? I guess there are 22 levels. And I'm on the 7th one. Perhaps this game is a bit short. I still say that the net result, though, is a good game. I didn't get any new music tracks, unfortunately, but I did get at least one new figurine, I think. Oh! Got a couple of new figurines. Well, let's see. Of course, you got Kata. Cannon Kata! This is what happens when you're a Kata and you mouth off to Glacia. She turns you into a cannon! Some folks think that's pretty mean of her, but that certainly is a fine-looking cannon, don't you think? Wait a minute, I get why they have the pot theme. It's because they're like pots that have been sculpted out of clay. So Glacia is actively punishing Katas? But they're her own creations, her children in some very real sense. And here is the bomb's way. They would rather carry stars than bombs, since stars are far less heavy than bombs. But orders are orders, and more often than not, Glacia's orders are, go drop some bombs. What's a bomb's way to do? I think I'm beginning to see a pattern with these enemies. None of them are really all that bad guys, but Glacia's making them do stuff they don't want to do. Well, Grinky's in it just because he's an adrenaline addict, but I think I got at least one more. Yeah. Hoop Lagoon. Glacia turned to some ancient blueprints in order to sculpt this new enemy. She even used ancient clay to give it that old world feel, but don't tell Hoop Lagoon that. He thinks he's all cool and modern. Man, even Hoop Lagoon had more to him. It's a shame that all this suffering has to go on, isn't it? But, you know, we're gonna end this. We're not gonna let Glacia keep up this abuse of her own creations, of her own people. I did not get all of the figurines I missed, though. At least, I didn't get all of the chests I missed. Well, Indigo Lagoon. Well, this is certainly a lot moister than that last area, isn't it? Wait, it's Indigo Lagoon? No, it's Indigo Ocean, not Lagoon. Yeah, I was gonna say, this did not look like a lagoon. Although it also doesn't really look like an ocean, it looks like a beach. It appears that we're on some kind of barrier island. Oh well, whatever, let's go. You know, for someone who's going through such serious personal stuff, you sure look pretty happy, Aileen. I like that. I like seeing a happy person. Oh! That's the water physics in this one, huh? I forget how the water physics worked back in Canvas Curse. Still, I'd say that... Wait a minute. That sounds like, Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say it sounded like a, synth from Kirby's Return to Dreamland, but the main melody is... Is that Orange Ocean or Ice Cream Island? I don't know, I'm always getting them mixed up. Wait, hold on. Looks like there might be some other stuff up here. Is there? Nah, there's not. In any case, the Kirby games sure love them, these remasters of old music. Blip! Did you see all those blips? They're barely a blip on my radar, though. Or maybe they're barely a blip on yours. Hey, wait a minute, is that why they're called blips? I never got that before. Maybe that is why they're called blips. I think this is Ice Cream Island, rather than Orange Ocean. But I'm really not quite sure. And so here we're going around a little underwater moon. It's not really a moon, though. It's just a replica of the moon. Getting a lot of stars, though. It would have been nice if I'd gone around in one round. You know, it's really kind of amazing just, No, this way. There you go, Kirby. Amazing just how elegantly I managed to do some of those earlier levels when I wasn't recording and getting the treasure chests, you know? I mean, you're not going to believe me, but I really did, I think, go about them in a way that was pretty. Now, this is more reminiscent of some of the stuff that I think was in Canvas Curse, but I really don't remember that well. I tell you, I really got to play Canvas Curse again. It definitely was, as I've said before, is a lot more melancholic than this one, but I think that this realizes its clay aesthetic a lot better than Canvas Curse, or at least a lot more completely than Canvas Curse realized its painting aesthetic. I also think it's a nice touch in this one that Kirby's enemies aren't the standard enemies. I mean, we have Blips and Bronto, Berts and Gordos, but by and large, it would seem to me that we've had a lot of new enemies. Like, these Katas have never appeared before and probably never will appear again in this series. And, you know, I mean, it really does make it feel like Kirby's exploring an alien world. Well, I mean, of course, Kirby's always exploring an alien world, Popstar, but it's his world. In this case, it's alien to the world of his that we're even accustomed to him exploring. There is a bit of that in Canvas Curse, but not as much, I feel. Go into the time door. Go, Kirby, go into the door. Go, there you go. I suppose that this game is also a much more actually developed story than Canvas Curse did. Like, this already seems significantly less minimalistic. And while I can certainly appreciate a minimalist kind of storytelling and overall aesthetic like Kirby Canvas Curse had, I still, I like having a complete story. So I'm glad we do. At least I'm under the impression that we do. There was certainly nothing back in Canvas Curse about Drossia being the best friend of Kirby's partner or anything like that. Although, Glacia is already a little more complex than Drossia. Because Glacia, it sounds like she really used to be a good artist once upon a time. I mean, it takes a lot to have a person undergo that kind of major transformation. Like, what do you think happened to her? I don't know. I mean, she clearly really lovingly crafted this whole place. And she obviously wasn't always like she is now. Because, after all, Aileen wouldn't have been friends with someone like her if she was always the way she was. I don't know what's going on here. But that's something I like about Kirby. The way that we have a kind of dark... Oh! Well, that's some energetic music. We have this kind of dark underpinning story. It's kind of melancholic. On top of all these wacky, whimsical, colorful bits of fun. This definitely is whimsical. Unlike Canvas Curse, which really was rather serious, I think. Oh, what's gonna be in here? What are we gonna get? Oh! I'll take it. I'll take all of the stars. Stars! In Canvas Curse, the stars were just plain old, typical, get all the stars and you get a 1-up kind of thing. Which is a well-established trope in the Kirby series. This music is also really good. Wait, was that a version of the legendary Air Ride machine theme? Might have been. In any case, here we are back on the surface. Kirby, go get the treasure! No, treasure, Kirby! Good job, Kirby! You get the treasure, Kirby! Oh, well, he'll get the treasure. The magic yarn will guide him to it. It's kinda odd that we're, Oh man, look at those clay islands! They look so good! And Glacia and Aileen, they made that together! Glacia made all of this. This couldn't have been made by a bad person, it's too beautiful. Oh, we're gonna get this diary piece, though. Right? No! Right. Well, we almost got it. But we're gonna get it. I'm not gonna screw up again. I just gotta really focus here. Didn't quite work out. Didn't quite work out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, Kirby! No! I hate this game's controls! When you mess up, you have to do the entire frickin' level again! The whole thing! And you like, there's no like, oh, oops, I made a mistake, let me go back to the checkpoint! You have to do the whole damn thing over again! I know you're not gonna believe it. You can't believe that this clumsy old Mackerel phone's got all those diary entries. But I did. I did get them. Most of them on my second, or rather my first try after I went through the level, but... whatever. A green Waddle Dee? Let's check out these new figurines, shall we? There's Green Waddle Dee. I suppose this is for the 4th player? I guess so. When one's not enough, we've got a second Waddle Dee right here. This fellow and his other Waddle Dee buddies like to throw Kirby around. He's scared of heights, so if he climbs up high, he refuses to look down. Okay. It really went the extra mile to make everything look clay. I really like that. Although it doesn't quite make sense for these characters like Kirby and Waddle Dee, who are from Popstar, which is not made out of clay, but... do you have any remarks about Kirby's snorkel, Aileen? You know Kirby's ready for an underwater adventure once he puts on those snazzy blue goggles. Swimming can't be easy for the little pink puffball, but floating sure is fun. Yeah, I'll say swimming isn't easy. He's not even swimming in this one. Kirby just couldn't... He's letting himself go a bit. What are these robots called again? Bombsways. Well, I don't even know how soon we're gonna see these combat robots again, but... Oh. Blipper! Are you wondering why sea creatures like blippers have to wear goggles underwater? The truth is, they've had them on for so long, they're scared to take them off. Or maybe they just forgot they ever had them on in the first place. How intelligent are blippers supposed to be, anyway? I've often been under the impression they're just kind of animals, but... maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, and that's it. Now we got a few music tracks, at least. What new ones have we gotten? Ripplefield! I prefer the original. They did good with this one. They did good work. Look, I don't know how much I'm willing to go back to keep getting these diary entries. The haunted ship? That's a change of pace, isn't it? So Glacia and you decided to make a haunted ship, or is this like guarded Dune, whatever that monster was? It's something she designed herself. Well, let's find out. You might notice that in this game, unlike maybe any Kirby game I've ever played, the amount of lives you have carries over into different play sessions. Whereas usually, at least in my experience, it is only sticks around for one play session in most Kirby games. Not that it's a huge source of difficulty, the number of lives you have in a Kirby game. It was kind of frustrating to me when I was a kid, though. What the? They look like they're part members of the Skull Gang. Oh. Well, so the Skull Gang means business, I see. Is there any way to deter them? Well, they don't seem to pursue Kirby for very long bursts, at least. I don't remember the Skull Gang's individual agents being quite this dangerous, though. Kirby, get the loot! We have to get the loot this time, Kirby. We're on a pirate ship. Given that she had a similar theme associated with her as Necrodeus did, do you think that means that, Glacia is some relation to the Skull Gang? It might. No! 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 Okay. Well, you know, I was thinking how easy this game was. I see now that, well, at least this part's kind of challenging. Just don't let these Skull Gang members hit us. They're probably still kind of salty about what Kirby did to Necrodeus. Although then again, these are ghosts on a ghost ship. Maybe they're a different branch of the Skull Gang. Oh, we're really in the heart of things now, aren't we? Listen to that. That's how you know you're in the heart of things. And these are very poorly hidden chests. I would expect better from a crew of ghost pirates. Although I suppose I'm glad they're not more poorly hidden. I'm in a bit of a hurry right now, you know? Get a one-up. Now then, say, hey, boys. Take him out, Kirby! Take him out! At least take that one out! That's the only one you're gonna have a chance to take out, because I done screwed up, Kirby. Well, I had my chance to take all of them out, and I totally failed. So, this was my bad. This is my fault here. This is one of the most dangerous to me, too. Look at the position it's in the map. Wait, there's already a third one? I thought there were only two of them here. Well, that's fine. I can handle this, huh? I can handle this. Oh, I see that we have another invincibility candy, though. And you know what? You better believe I'm going to take advantage of that one, huh? Hey, Skull Gang. Kirby, go after the Skull Gang! Go after them, Kirby. There you go, Kirby. You did good work here, Kirby. You might tell me Kirby's being a bit of a bad sport going after them on their own turf like this. But, wait, they're back?! I see, we can't really kill them, we can just take them out for a little while. First of all, Kirby, get the key. Okay. No. I'm not gonna get all of them because of that stupid Skull Gang guy! Well, you know, we all had our chance here. Why aren't they don't stay out though? Like, why even bother? Why even bother taking them out if they're just gonna come back in a second? I'll tell you why, there's not much reason to, is there? No! I missed the platform there! What? Oh, for a second I thought it was another one of those key guys. I see now that I was wrong. I was mistaken. Fortunately... No! Well, let's do all that again. Thanks for the advice, Aileen. You're a real national treasure, Aileen. Oh wait, we're back to this point. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad, although I see we need to get the treasure chest again. Fortunately, it wasn't exactly hard to get now, was it? Oh, but we need to activate all the switches again, it looks like. There we go! There we go! Now, this is more like it, huh? I just wish Kirby was a little easier to control, but that's part of the Canvas Curse formula, isn't it? Now, before we go and open that door, I would like to try my hand once again at getting to, you know, that puzzle piece over here. Getting the treasure we might get from it. Now, not that it's probably going to be a spectacular treasure, because it's not a diary entry. You know, I'm all about the human aspect of these, you know? All about that. Why, thank you, treasure chest. I really appreciate it. Don't worry, guys. I know you don't want Kirby on your boat, but Kirby doesn't want to be here either. If Glacia does have some relation to the Skull Gang, though. I wonder what that means. Perhaps. Well, I don't really know. I don't really remember there being much to Necrodeus other than he was a villain. Pretty much his whole personality was summed up in just that statement. That was a short level. I suppose what we can say for sure about Necrodeus is that Kirby beat him, and he was big and scary and seemed to come from some kind of... He was some sort of alien or something. Kirby, why aren't you rolling up? There you go. Whoa! Okay. I didn't realize I was going to hit the jackpot. Did not realize that. But I'll take it. I'll take the jackpot. You know, when I was going back through those levels, I did not manage to get a gold medal in the tank level. Which, I don't know. I expected that maybe I would. Sorry about that, Mr. Bell. I know you didn't do anything against me. It's nothing personal. I just feel a certain obligation to, because you get points. I mean, really, who cares about points? I've never really cared about my score in the game. I've cared about other elements of it, but... Well, listen, I guess there's some games where your score actually matters, but... I remember I cared about my score in Galaga Arrangement when I was, a matter of, getting a higher score than my brother-in-law did. Now I gotta focus on getting the book. Yes! Yes! I get why it's hard to get. Aileen doesn't want Kirby leafing through her diary, you know? You might notice that the number of stars you collect that gives you the medals, it varies from level to level. And obviously in that level it was hard to get very many stars, whereas in other levels you can get far more than that and still not get a gold. You see, now it's worth celebrating. I'd like to see what we got. Man, Kirby's been climbing into cannons like that for a long time now. Maybe we're gonna get some backstory on the Skull Gang. I did remark how, to some extent, this seemed to be a sequel to Mass Attack and is in addition to Canvas Curse. Oh, the Lore Star Cutter, that one's from Return to Dreamland, and some stuff from Kirby's Adventure. Of course I'm gonna look at my collection. We'll build up the diary for last. Let's start with the figurines. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Skull Gang man. Death Skulk. Death Skulks suck the life force out of anyone they touch, so proceed with caution when you see one. This bizarre crew travels by pirate ship, where they try very, very hard not to bump into each other. Aileen, I like you. You got a sense of humor. So that's what they look like, huh? I'm a little disappointed they don't have any connection to the Skull Gang. They just look so much almost the same. Except the Skull Gang usually didn't have horns if I remember correctly. I bet you there is some connection here. Perhaps Necrodeus comes from the same dimension as Glacia and Aileen. What's it called? Seventopia or something like that? And here we have the Death Skull King. This guy's kind of a big deal. He's the solid gold leader of the Death Skull Gang. Next time you get trapped in a pirate ship, you're probably going to need to get the key from this guy. Good luck with that. Well, fortunately, you don't need to talk about it like that because it already happened to us. It really looks so clayey, except the gem in its forehead, of course, but those effects could be easily achieved with clay by putting on a little, you know, jewel. And Kirby in the cannon. Don't worry about Kirby when he's shot out of a cannon. He has to do it in order to break blocks or hit a wall, and he's perfectly fine afterward. But for the rest of you, no crawling into cannons, okay? Oh, jeez. Okay, whatever, Aileen. You don't want us have any fun getting exploded by gunpowder. That's actually probably for the best, though, so... See, Aileen knows I have fun, but you gotta be careful. You don't want to do anything reckless. I gotta say, the little treasures we get in this game really do make me happy. I really am liking them. What about this one, Snowball Scuffle? Old Kirby sitting there, waiting expectantly. Still as a statue. I don't remember this one from Return to Dreamland. Though I never really got very into that one. Even though it, in some senses, set up so many Kirby plot points by introducing Halcandra. More interested myself in Ice Cream Island. That's Ice Cream Island, alright. This takes me back to Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland was, if I remember correctly, my second Kirby game. From there I went to play almost all of them, including Kirby's Adventure. As much as I like the aesthetic of Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland and vastly prefer that aspect over Kirby's Adventure, I think that Kirby's Adventure is undoubtedly the better game, and does many very impressive things too. Certainly, Kirby's Adventure is one of the most technically impressive titles in the entire library of the Famicom, or NES. Anyway, we better, get back to business. Let's see, we got the real Glacia, our favorite hobby. Glacia makes shapes, and I paint them all pretty. At least, we used to. It's kind of cute the way that Glacia and Aileen both wink like that. Oh, she's fantasizing about how if only things could go back to the way they used to be, they could make katas that looked like Kirby and Waddle Dee. They could make katas of all kinds of things. You make them look like anything they wanted. And together you made this whole world, huh? I don't know how exactly it got into the position to do that, but... You know, Glacia is very suggestive of a lot of things. Of Droscia, of course. Even though it would seem that Droscia and what was her name, Paintra? That they were the ones who were connected. I don't know that Glacia really could have anything to do with them, but maybe. And she also seems to have something to do with the Skull Gang. At least the musical cue suggested that, though maybe they just did that because both antagonists, maybe they just did that, though, because both antagonists came out of the sky and had giant floaty hands. Kirby Submarine's Torpedo Time. Well, I can't argue with a name like that. Besides, clearly Kirby and Aileen are quite confident. And, anyway, looks like we're gonna have another bunch of impressive set pieces. I also like that in this game these enemies seem to be oftentimes unique to their levels. This has been seen before in the Kirby series, but usually not on a great extent. And maybe that's a good thing, but I like it. It makes each level feel like a more distinct place. Aileen keeps up her good humor even though she's going through so much right now. I mean, this is her world, and she's seen it taken away from her, and began to be turned into a rather nasty place by someone who was her friend just a little while ago. Anyway, what masterpiece are you gonna draw for us this time, Aileen? Oh, it's Kine! Kine is the best character in the entire Kirby series. Wait, Kirby, why aren't you moving? Oh, we just tap where he moves to. Like Canvas Curse, they're all on the touch controls here. Sort of surreal. I never would have thought that I would have a touchscreen controlled game playing on my television. It was kind of a surreal thing. Kind of a surreal thing to me. Well, you know, it's almost enough to make me think the Wii U's pretty neat. How are we gonna get up there, though? Now that's a clever mechanic. Alright, Kirby, here we go. Here we go. I tell you what, HAL always puts this great level of loving polish onto their games. You don't... I mean, of course a lot of publishers do, but something about HAL really makes it seem special. Like, HAL really goes the extra mile on little details. Like, when I was playing through some of those desert levels earlier, for example, the one where Kirby turns into a tank, I noticed at the beginning that that the sand only begins moving in the beginning of the level after Kirby has activated the mechanism. So it makes sense because it's like the mechanism is what caused all that sand to bubble up. And that's just a nice little attention to detail. And of course it doesn't really matter that much, but in these kinds of contexts, even the little things can go a long way. How do we burst through this one? I'm not sure. In any case, we might as well, knock this one out, shouldn't we? Of course we should. Kirby, go up here. Now go down here and get your big star before it goes away. Good job, Kirby. Oh! Oh, now we're about to get that one up, aren't we? Good. Well, Kirby, I hope that our missile has done good work down there and hasn't hurt anybody. Didn't really have much of a chance to hurt anybody, though, did it? To me, this really captures this Kirby-ish kind of whimsy that I feel like the series often goes for, but tends to fall a little bit short of. Like, in Kirby Triple Deluxe, I don't know, it felt sorta... It didn't give me this kind of good feeling that this one does. Kirby, go back up there. Oh wait, this is a scrolling level. I hadn't realized that. Well, now that I realize that, I'm gonna suddenly it becomes a lot more serious. It's not that serious, though. It's not scrolling that quickly. One of the most memorable Kirby scrolling levels to me is this one from Kirby's Dream Land 3. Not that I really remember it all that well, though. I don't think we're gonna get that, I don't think we're gonna get that delicious-looking cherry right there. A pair of cherries, in fact. You always see cherries that way in video games, as far back as Pac-Man. I wonder why. Is there some kind of cultural thing about it, or is it just because it looks good? I mean, I guess Pac-Man sort of established the aesthetic on these kinds of things. I mean, Pac-Man is, you know, been very influential. Needless to say. Heck, even one of Miyamoto's earlier games, what was that called? You know, Devil Man or something? Or no, Devil Man's like a grim anime. One of Miyamoto's early games was Devil World, that's what it's called, which features a strange little character wandering around, gathering crosses to fight a character called Satan. Oh, that's an ominous-looking animal. And we don't do much good against it, do we? Oh, sure we do. I should have known better to think there was something Kirby couldn't hurt, other than a Shotzo and a Gordo, I mean. Even that game, though, Devil World, was basically a Pac-Man clone. To be sure, there were a few other things it did. There are a few things that set it apart, other than its strange aesthetic. But even Miyamoto got started with making a Pac-Man clone like that. To be granted, it wasn't his first game, I think, but it was one of his early ones. Maybe his awareness that it isn't quite up to his later standards is why he, later on hasn't really done much to try and get it released to the world at large. And it certainly does pale in comparison with the sophistication of his later creations. I tell you what, Kirby, you're just shooting out quite a lot. Quite a few missiles, aren't you? I suppose they really are torpedoes like the level title says, aren't they? I got that one. For once I didn't even slightly run out of time. Though I almost missed the puzzle piece challenge altogether. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. See, as charming and fun as this is, I don't like that there's nothing at the end, that nothing will await us at the end except the inevitable suffering of trying to get the diary. See, that's always what happens. At the end of every level. Just goes to show that failure can await any of us. Hey, guys, could you, like, quit it? Guys? Blips? Okay, quit chasing us, Blips. I know that Glacia put you up to this. I know that you wouldn't necessarily do it if you were up to you. I understand that you guys are better than that. I really do. Oh, I see. That could have almost been kind of challenging if, you know, I hadn't already gotten it and it weren't so easy to get. This is going to be challenging, though, because there's a treasure chest right in the middle. Right in the middle of the Blips. Alright, Kirby. Go back there, Kirby. Good job, Kirby. Now, Kirby, here's what you're going to have to do next, Kirby. You're going to have to blow up this wall, Kirby. You done good, Kirby, and I hope there's food in this one. There is. A nice, delicious bottle of milk. You ever have milk and tea? I used to think that'd be a gross combination, even though, you know, a lot of people do eat that kind of stuff, but I've since realized that no, milk tea is a perfectly good thing. I wouldn't, you know, like, drink it every day or anything, but for what it is, it's fine stuff. I better get that treasure chest up there, shouldn't we? Of course we will. We're not gonna let that slip us by. Not after all the stuff we haven't let slip us by. No, Kirby! Now this is a kind of actually a little bit challenging, this level is. Only a little bit, but a little bit is enough. Because we don't have much health in this game. I mean, Kirby's kind of hurting. He's flashing red like a tomato. One of those tomatoes he loves so much. He even has a little bandage on him, even though he's a submersible. Fortunately, we're about to get a checkpoint, because we're going to go out of this door. Oh, I see what you gotta do. Alright, sure. I'm fine with that. Oh, there we go. These rooms almost look like they could be set pieces in the Neverhood, the rooms with those gears. Oh, come on, there you go. You got through that block. Oh, what's that? Some kind of sea worm? Well, I mean, the answer is clearly yes. Oh, a torpedo spitting sea worm. That makes things a little more risky, doesn't it? You better believe it does. Ah, they didn't quite hit us, though. Well, I mean, it's not surprising since we're moving forward. Actually, they might be anemones. Whatever they are, they're kind of gross looking. That's fine, though. Not everything needs to be cute. At least not cute by our standards, huh? I mean, I'm sure that they would probably think that you're pretty ugly, too. But, I mean, we see them that way because they look very different from us, and they see the same. It's important to see beyond appearances and judge by their acts. And their acts is they're trying to kill us. But I bet it's not because they're bad. Oh! This was gonna try and kill us, too. I mean, you see, I bet it's because... What I think it's because of is because of Glacia. She's the one who's putting them up to this. You know, they're kind of like Blips. I mean, they're a little more hardcore than... Or not, they're kind of like Glunks, I mean. They're a little more hardcore than Glunks, but... What? Oh. Trying to send your goons after us, are ya? Oh, okay, so we got a bit of damage there. We've done way more damage to this giant Glunk imposter than it's done to us. And that's a good thing. We want to... I mean, it feels a little bit underhanded, but it is 100% trying to kill Kirby. What choice did we have, after all? At least we can look at the beautiful glow of these bioluminescent corals. At least they'll have corals here in this clay world, even when they die out here on Earth due to the acidity of the oceans. Oh, we're almost ready to get the diary. If I get the diary, as far as I'm concerned, this run of the level has been just about perfect. No! No, Kirby! I hate this stupid thing! It's so easy to trigger it when you don't want to! That's gonna be one of my major complaints against this game, honestly. Is that mechanic. It works well enough in the levels, but not at these points when you gotta make these really delicate movements. It doesn't work so well when you have to make such delicate movements, okay? But we got the diary. We got the diary entry. Aileen, I want to let you know, I really do appreciate that you let us read your diary at all. I know it's very private stuff, but I do appreciate it. I think you're a talented artist, and a very distinctive, cutesy kind of style, but that really appeals to some people, and you should pursue your artistic vision. And we got all the treasures that time. I took a lot of damage, but overall, I'm prepared to call that, for my purposes, a perfect run of the level. Wait a minute, it was sort of like a crab. Well, there are crabs that put anemones onto their shells. Some hermit crabs, for example. Let's take a look at the music first. Boss battle, huh? I'd say that Kirby Superstar has some of the most memorable boss battle music. To me, at least. I do like this remastering. Anyway, that's enough of that one. I get anything else, or is it just that? I think it was just that. Although we do have all these other tracks from this one. I think this is a particularly nice opening bit here. It really feels like the beginning of some kind of big adventure. I like the switch from the more electrical bit to the sort of flutes. Of course, it's still electronic, but it definitely captures the Kirby spirit, I think, but with this sort of modern sensibility that's something I really appreciate about this composer's style. I forget his name. I should know his name, man. He did Mother 3. Oh, that's what the happy message is. I'm a little disappointed with that one. I mean, he got the job done, but dig and dash. Or more dig and dash, anyway. And what about Koo's theme? I think this one really is pretty. The fact that they keep teasing at Rick, Kine, and Koo in the last several Kirby games, or at least they're doing it in this one. I seem to remember that some of the rock, the transformations for Stone Kirby and Triple Deluxe also featured Kirby turning into a statue of his animal friends. And the fact that they turned up in like Canvas Curse and a little cameo, or even in Kirby Superstar Ultra if I remember correctly, it makes you wonder when they're finally going to give them a proper appearance again. They obviously haven't forgotten about them. It's one of the great things about Kirby. They won't have a song for over 10 years in the games, and then they'll suddenly bring it back in a version like this. It really is something great. I just wish there was a little more substance to these reoccurring themes other than, it sounds nice and we're just going to do it again as sort of a reference. Okay, let's see what we got now, huh? We got those two, that's for sure. Didn't we get some other ones, though? Yeah, we did. Well, we'll look at these two first. We'll look at the canny-looking crab guy. There we go. It's not a canny, it's a crabbo. Oh, it has buck teeth! I missed that. It's way more cute than I thought then. This crabby character shoots foam-covered bombs out of his head. He'd love to use these bombs to unearth a hot spring on the ocean floor, but he's still not sure how to throw them down instead of up. You see, Aileen really looks at these guys with a sympathetic eye because she was helped create them. She gave them their color. A mini deep sea. Yeah, these must be their attempt at creating something like a glunk. It really is very glunky. This creature loves to fire torpedoes at poor little Kirby for no good reason at all. He's not getting paid to do this. He does it for fun. It's almost like it's just some sort of a game to him. Oh, it's kind of meta. But I'm disappointed in these guys. They're not under orders from Glacia, they're just hostile. And here I was giving them benefit of the doubt. Still, I guess in this case it's innocent till proven guilty. And I guess I'm taking Aileen at her word, but I don't know why she'd be tricking us about these things. This kind of reminds me of, when was the last time Kirby met a shark? It was Joe the Shark, I think, was the last one he met. Oh wait, no. There was that shark in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I forget what that shark is called, though. Sawgill is the rowdiest, most rambunctious fish in the sea, and he knows it. He takes great pride in that magnificent saw of his, but no one will come anywhere near him. Can you blame them? Though he's proud of it, once he becomes old, he'll realize that he missed what was really important in life, and he'll regret that he didn't have more friends. We got the giant one, too. Yeah, there it is. It was just happened to be the next one. I should have, selected it, I guess. Should have kept going. Yeah, it's a crab. It's weird because the other deep sea is clearly an anemone, while this one's clearly a crab. This is what happens to a mini deep sea when it grows up. It looks like it lives in symbiosis with some other creature, but I have no idea what. I bet Glacia would know. Someone should totally go ask her. I wish it were that easy, Aileen. So, it isn't just an anemone, it is a crab. Yeah, this is definitely a reference to those species of hermit crabs that put anemones onto their shells. I suppose both as a kind of protection and also as a camouflage. Man, Aileen forgot for a second there that Glacia's her enemy now. Well, let's see what other memories Aileen might have. Oh, this is a modern memory, not one of back when she was with Glacia, eh? Kirby's submarine passed with flying colors. I bet there's a big squid lurking down there. Yeah, look at that big old squid. It has milk, it has Galaxia, a skull. Oh, she also turned Waddle Dee into a submarine, just a little bit off screen. Music's good, art's good. It puts a big smile on my face. You see, this kind of thing is important. I'm glad that the Kirby series no longer abides by the no dialogue, except maybe a little bit in the manual's rule. Because a little bit of dialogue really goes such a long way in establishing character. And I understand that they have other priorities, but I still consider that a very important part of their enterprise here. Yeah, challenge mode. Look, if you guys want to do challenge mode, you can go play the game yourself. Okay? You want to get all the treasures? You have that option. Of course, you have to have a Wii U. Playing this game almost makes me think that it was worth buying a Wii U. Anyway, we're already at the boss, the Claykin. It's funny, I'm less worried about the Claykin than these other challenges we faced because there's no diary at the end. At least it was just the first one. That one won't take very long to go through again. Well, Claykin, let's get crackin'. You know, the way that Aileen talks about it makes it sound like these big shark fish are the only ones is like an individual. But it would seem to very clearly be a whole bunch of them. That's always been one of the issues with the Kirby series, is that they'll have a character like Broom Hatter, who to me at least it seems like is a singular character, but you see lots of them. I mean, Broom Hatter kind of works, but what about someone like Sir Kibble? Or Sir Slippy, or Mr. Frosty. Well, she was right. We did find a big squid. We were right about this one, Aileen. You know these waters better than I do, I suppose. Oh man, your arm's really throbbing now, Mr. Claykin. You know, Claykin, I bet you used to be a good guy. Bet you used to be a grizzly sailor, the kind, you know, who was a bit rough around the edges, but you could depend on him. But no, instead, you went rogue. You didn't go rogue, it's because Glacia went rogue. Although I don't know, everybody has different motivations. Even if you're following Glacia, even if you're obeying her willingly, I mean, who knows? Who knows what reasons you have for that? Maybe you do have some kind of real reason for it. Maybe, like, for all I know, Glacia could have kidnapped your daughter or something. I wouldn't put it above her at this point. I mean, she seems to be pretty selfish. Draining the color and the life out of a place like Dreamland where lots of innocent people oh no! Get out of the way! What's he gonna do? Oh. That wasn't so... Oh, he shot out globs of ink, though. I would just as soon not have globs of ink shot out at me, sir. Oh, there we go. Wait, what is that? Isn't that his mouth? Isn't that where the mouth is on the squid? Although I suppose his mouth is at a different spot because... Well, I guess that, when Glacia sculpted him, she decided to be more aesthetically appealing if his mouth was in that spot than where a squid's mouth actually is. And where a squid's beak would be, I mean. Alright. Well, as much as I like this old sea captain squid, I'm afraid that we have to, take him out. It's not anything personal, sir. I would like you to be our friend, just like Aileen is, but I'm afraid that, you've brought this on yourself, okay? The Claykin will be fine. I'm not worried. Thank you for your applause, Aileen. I really do appreciate it. It's amazing. Kirby having a friend in this one makes it just so much less melancholy and lonely than Canvas Curse was. Which, once again, isn't a bad thing. It's not a good thing, but it's just a thing. They have different aesthetic goals.
I'm a paint girl too. I can paint stuff. I paint and draw and stuff. Why can't I come too?